kind of look ahead at the weekend, talk about what kind of happened last weekend. So, start of a new week, new month on the horizon. We'll save that for tomorrow. Y'all know what tomorrow is, but we'll save that. But yeah, just glad to see you guys, man. I ain't seen you guys in a minute. It seems like.
Chris, what's up with you? What's happening? I know Saturday you killed it. I didn't really see yesterday's results, but I know Saturday you absolutely crushed it.
Sunday still had a winning day. But that's in the past. Move on to today, and like I said, small card, but I think there's still definitely, lots of money to be made. Especially now we're heading into October, playoff baseball, and then we blink, and NBA and NHL are going to be here. The sport, the equinox is short lived, but we're going to have a couple days where we're going to have everything going on. So I'm excited for it. We're getting into the busy part of the schedule of the year. So what's that? 10 months out of the 12. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we have a few days of rest. It's kind of like I didn't even know what to do this morning. So it was odd, man. It was like I was kind of getting things together, but I think I'm going to spend a lot of my time is working on our overall video and production here at Pick Dogs, just on the day-to-day videos as well as what we're doing on the live shows. I know Jay and I are both trying to rack it up, bring it up on the weekend on the live shows. We, changed back to our old format here on the weekdays. And, I think our regular videos, I'm just going to go through everybody who's doing videos and coach them up, and I hope people take some shots at me as well in our Pick Dogs team. I know the rest of you out there in YouTube land just have no problem taking shots at me. Costi, what's happening?
Good weekend. Little disappointing about a couple games that I just felt like I had really good pricing on, and I think Micah and myself both got blinded by getting the better price in the contest. Like I did good giving out the picks, but in terms of the contest, man, I'm 0-3 going into. I have 2 games tonight in the Circa contest, thinking that I could be sharp with Cleveland, thinking I could be sharp with the Falcons, and unfortunately the contest had a bad line on the Falcons. Giving out the pick early in the week was really good at 1, but in the contest it was 2.5. Mike and myself both thought that it was still a decent price under 3, and we got bitten by the hook. But overall, good day yesterday. 5-3 overall. Browns, man, what the heck?
I gave out the Raiders in my video, and I got shellacked in the comments, man. It just seems so easy. Sometimes when those teams are missing those key players, that's when they play at their best.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Maybe those guys are part of the problem, that they kind of lean on these guys too much sometimes, and the rest of the guys kind of rally around them. I'm not saying that Adams and Crosby are part of any problem or anything like that. I'm just saying that sometimes other players, it's like they get their chance to step up and step in, and sometimes they do it, man. It doesn't always work that way.
Still in the NFL.
Everybody, I say this all the time, people, they never really buy into it, and we go through it all the time. There's a few things that I say over and over again, and not those things, Chris, but some of the other things that I say are like, almost every guy on a professional team roster can play. NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. If you're on a professional roster, baseball probably the most watered down of those. Hockey, I'm not even sure who's on the team, but when you look at those 3 sports, everybody can play. When you look at sports in general, this is the way that I was taught growing up. At the high school level, maybe if you're playing a really good high school team, half dozen guys play at the Division I level, and start. That's like a really good high school team. A regular high school team, maybe 1 guy, maybe 2. In college, depending on what school it is, even you see all these high Alabama draft picks, right, over all the years, and how many of these guys actually stick, look at what's his name, Bryce Young, right? Already benched, be out of the league shortly. Trent Richardson, guys like that, they happen all the time. And then, on the other side of it, you see Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper who just fester.
Then you have Derrick Henry.
Then you have Derrick Henry. But he's Derrick Henry is a unicorn. And it's like he has been for a very long time, and you just don't see guys that are that big that take that kind of beating for that long. Have the kind of careers that they have as far as longevity. It's like that's really what it is. There's only really been 2 bruising backs like that have gone this long, in their career. And, Jim Brown and Derrick Henry. I mean, these are the only 2 that ever have gone.
I think now, so Derrick Henry spends $250,000 a year on his body. Like LeBron, they say spends $1 million a year on his body. Derrick Henry does too. So nowadays, like the guys that really invest in themselves on that, stage and that caliber, this is what the product is.
But if Jim Brown played today, he'd be the best player in the league.
Yeah,
he'd still be the best player.
He's like a generational talent, Jim Brown.
Well, more than that, he's the best there's ever been.
Yeah.
He's the best there's ever been. You got to remember that Jim Brown's all those 1,000-yard seasons happened in 11 games.
11 games, right?
It's like that's the difference, and it's like even OJ, OJ's 2003 happened in 14 games. I mean, Jim Brown, they used to say, man, you stick your hand near his face, man, he bite your finger off.
Me and my friends, of course, we've been arguing Heisman and things of that nature, and so we went back and looked at some of the record books, and some of them college record books are insane. Like,
the college records at running back are Barry Sanders, and Barry Sanders.
I was just
the greatest season of any player ever. I've mentioned this on the show, and you say the old guys are not nearly as good as the new guys. I say Barry Sanders was ridiculous that year.
I had to really, because Genty is having an amazing season.
He's not even in there.
He's having an amazing season at Boise, and we were just trying to project how far.
It's not even close.
That's what I'm trying to get there. We're trying to project how far out he can go, because the season he's having right now is amazing.
Yeah, because Barry Sanders sat in the second half of a lot of those games.
When you go look at those Barry Sanders numbers, bro, it hurt.
It's the greatest. It's Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State, the year he won the Heisman, was the greatest season a running back has ever had at any level. It's up there with Billy Sims' 100 touchdowns in a high school football season. It's up there with that. I mean, he didn't have 100 touchdowns, but
did you see Derrick Henry?
He had 43 touchdowns in one season? I think that was right.
Henry?
No, Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders averaged like 23 yards a carry, man. It was like ridiculous.
43 in high school, 5,000 yards.
I think he would have to average like 4 touctouhdowns a game to even be in close.
But in high school, that's been done.
He looks like he is now in high school.
Yeah, but in high school, it's been done before.
Right.
It's been done before.
Worse.
I think Billy Sims had like those kind of numbers. Most rushing yards high school season. The most rushing yards in top 100 single game seasons. Yeah, there's a lot of big ones up there, man. It's it starts at like 4,700. So, but these are old. So in 2014, Dominic Braglione in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, had 316 carries, 64 touchdowns, 4,704 yards. So, I mean, it goes all the way on here. Travis Henry, who played for played for Tennessee, and then he played for the Bills, 4,087 yards on 363 carries with 34 touchdowns. So, I mean, there's big seasons. There's 100.
Henry's got overall. He's got 12,144 as a total between all his years in high school. He's got the national high school record. This is as of 2019. So I don't know if they updated it, but it's a lot.
Most of the people on this list are people you never heard of.
And that's normal.
Guys you never ever heard of. But yeah, the Barry Sanders records, back to Jay's thing. I mean, the Barry Sanders Heisman rushing year, because you have to remember, he sat out the third and fourth quarter of a lot of those early games, and he would have had it was ridiculous. And Jay, hopefully what you did is you went to YouTube and you watched it, because it was to see it.
I've seen the highlights many a times. I just to be living it again, to go look at the numbers and trying to compare it to now is still just.
Oh no, it was the most unbelievable.
That's how good Genty at Boise State is playing right now. Like, he's having an all-time amazing season. 82 carries, 845 yards, 13 touchdowns through what, 4 games? Like, oh my God. But then, you know what I mean? Then we had to go look at the numbers to see, like, Barry was even eclipsed.
Barry Sanders, 11 games, 2,628 yards, 7.6 yards per carry. I mean, off the chain. He had 37 touchdowns. He did not win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense, man. It's like, how is that even possible? That was like, back then they didn't really want to give those awards to non-seniors.
Right.
Damn, I did just see that Dikembe Mutombo passes away.
Oh, that's sad.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. No. I used to do that all the time. I didn't block many people, but when I did block you, I had to do it.
Costi, were you standing there on a chair when that happened?
What, blocking somebody?
Yeah.
No.
Unless you were playing against us. Even then, I
would. Jay tripped me with his hat.
I think Des dunked on you a couple times.
Hey.
That was my favorite episode of Road Rules ever, was when Kobe Bryant played against everybody on the Road Rules van. It was back when he was a rookie. It was like they were in LA, and it was like they had to like try and score on Kobe, and he was just dunking on him. Anyways, Jay, stars and not stars for the weekend.
All right, let's do it. Let me
keep going around.
I'm going to start. I'm going to give a star to Jaden Daniels, man. God damn it. God damn it. It hurts to get his star, man. But I got to. You know, I'm not just a hater. I actually watch these games. I actually watch what happens, and I formulate my own opinion. And Jaden Daniels, thus far, him and what the Washington Commanders have done, they've only punted once in 3 weeks. Like, they completely picked apart Arizona last week. Shout out Jaden Daniels. You know, he's had a career, or not a career, like a historic start to his career. He currently leads the league in completion percentage. Like, the kid's balling. So that'll be my first star, Jaden Daniels. And Washington, maybe leading the division currently. Watch out for them boys, man.
Chris?
Yeah, I think Jay took my only star from the entire weekend, so I'm going to go with my not star. I'm going to go to a head coach in college. Mike Norvell, when are you going to figure out that DJU is not the answer? But I feel bad for Mike Norvell, because even Brock Glenn as a backup isn't the answer. I mean, DJU in that game, 12 of 30. Sure, 2 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. Another loss for Florida State. Yeah, they're headed for, I think, a 2-win season, if that. So it's looking bleak in Tallahassee. Yeah, this is a low point for Florida State football. So Mike Norvell gets one of my not stars. I got a few.
Costi, Derrick Henry for you.
That's too obvious, and the other obvious one I always save for you because I never want to take that away from you. Um, there's a certain guy with a certain pedigree that is just incredible. I won't mention his name. I'll let you get to him. And that's really only 2 stars besides him and Derrick Henry. How about the not star? Aaron Rodgers. You are ass.
Oof.
You are ass.
He was on my list.
You are ass. How are you going to let Denver come in your house? Can't even get Garrett Wilson going. Brees Hall looks like he's regressed. The coaching sucks. He's just washed up, man, and it's sad to say. I've been an Aaron Rodgers fan for a majority of his career, but man, it is a shit show. They thought they were going to get another year out of him after that injury, but that injury takes way longer to recover, and especially when he's a mobile quarterback to get into his passing lanes and throw off of that leg, and he just doesn't have that velocity anymore. So, Aaron Rodgers, you are ass.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts for me, man. I mean, you want to talk about ass? I mean, you're a running QB and you get sacked 6 times, man. It's like you stink, man. He's done. I said it last year, and I'll say it again. That tush push took years off of this guy's career, man. It's like taking your quarterback and getting him hit by 2 or 3 300-pound guys on your own team. Can't be good for his health, man. If the other team does it, it's a penalty. The abuse that they give this guy. And the Bucs sure leveled out some abuse on him. You stink, man. I haven't seen quarterback play and decision making that bad since that Steelers-Colts game yesterday in Justin Fields. What are you doing, man? It's like the ball's on the field, so you hold it between your legs. What is that, man? What league is this? It's like you don't do that in the Sandlot league, man. It's like the ball's on the ground. Instead of falling on the ball, he puts 2 hands on the ball like this, like some 400-pound guy's not just gonna hit that right out of your hands. Dumbass. Anyways, Jalen Hurts, you stink, man. I don't even know what the hell you're doing out there. You're not even a real quarterback. They're gonna move him to tight end, I think. Jay.
I won't use my star on this, but I low-key could. I could just stay same game and just flip the other side of the field and just take Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. I think, a lot of sexy picks in that division, but I still think it runs through Tampa. As I keep trying to tell everybody, Tampa won a playoff game last year. I better put some respect on that Tampa Bay Bucs team. I like what Tampa got going on, but the one I'll use in the slot, just keep finding ways to do it. It ain't pretty, it ain't ugly, but they undefeated and still the best team in the league, the Kansas City Chiefs. They did lose Rashee Rice yesterday, but torn ACL. But I'm on that Chiefs wagon, man. They're them. They got the best coach in the league, best quarterback in the league, and when they're in tight games, somehow, some way, they always find a way to pull it out. So they didn't cover yesterday. The line was 7 and a hook, but they still. Yeah, you did tell me, but they still pulled out the win. So hats off. I can't not hate on them. Chiefs 4-0.
Hot take. Second best team in the NFL. Behind the Minnesota Vikings.
I knew that's where you were going.
I'm saying Patrick
it's
Mahomes,
a crazy take, but it's not a crazy take. I can think.
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL still, I think, in my opinion, or at least, I can't take him down from 1. But I'd argue that, the weapons for Minnesota have been better. The defense has been better. Didn't show it necessarily yesterday, but, still, that's what I would go with. Staying in that same sort of boat with the mobile quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, absolutely crushed. I know you were up against the San Francisco 49ers, so a solid defense.
He got no help.
He got no help.
When has he been a mobile quarterback this year?
He got no help.
He's been a mobile quarterback for the better part of his career. At least he hasn't been a dual threat, but I mean, he can at least move with his legs.
That's
He
not
can at least
fair.
try to get
Why
himself
are you
out of
gonna kick a
trouble.
man while he's down. That's not fair. It's not his
Is that
fault.
because, well, 'cause he can never get back up. He was sacked 6 times yesterday.
Every time he gets, I feel so bad. I just feel bad.
It's just because the problem is that even, it's just that the Patriots offense is just inept. I mean, they can't do anything. And, Jacoby Brissett not really helping his own case. But, it's the Patriots offense as a whole, but especially that offensive line. But yeah, there's no saving the Patriots this season. I feel bad for Jacoby Brissett too, but still let himself get sacked 6 times yesterday. Hasn't really had a great game this season. He's just been kind of meh, and that's being nice. So Jacoby Brissett, that's one of my no stars from the New England Patriots as a whole, but Jacoby Brissett specifically.
Not to point any fingers. Costi. I should call this segment "Not to Point Any Fingers."
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's what we should call. That's the new name for this segment. Costi.
Gold
Points of
star.
fingers, signs of blame. No win. No. There is no I in team. Let's point some fingers and signs of blame. Costi, who do you got?
I like it.
Look, it's slim pickings.
Oh, it's not Slim Pickens.
No, we can keep going.
I could go all day, man. Did you see Deshaun Watson? Seriously.
I mean, I'm just trying to be nice.
What are you doing out there, man?
I'm trying to find the good, and it's slim pickings. So I have to keep going to the bad. I'm trying to find the good in any of this.
Trevor Lawrence, I mean, my God. What are you doing, man? Jerk. What a jerk.
He's a jerk. He is terrible.
Man. He's terrible, man. At least he covered.
Yeah, +7. Shout out. Sharp chasers early in the week. Shout out to my squad, the Baltimore Ravens. They had to make a statement. 1-3 was going to be very hard to overcome and try to make the playoffs. They got the job done. They did exactly what they should have been doing the first 2 games in the season, which is give number 22 the ball early and often. Don't make critical mistakes, play good defense, and rush the passer. That is a winning formula to winning Super Bowls. So I thought it was too easy. One of those things where everybody's on it and we're all talking about it. And on yesterday's show, we were all on the Ravens and just seemed too easy. But in those prime time games at home, we're just different. We bring it up in the regular season. Let me preface that.
I've been my best in the standalone primetime games this year, which is weird because I'm usually the opposite. But I don't know.
They just play well. That's just at home primetime games. Harbaugh's 13-3, so we just get up for those. Now you put Carolina at our house Sunday Night Football, we'll probably lose the game outright. That's how it works. But good teams, we just show up. It's the bad teams I always worry about. So shout out to the whole Baltimore Ravens squad as a unit.
Nothing fun about unit picks. You and Ruffalo.
Well, it's King Henry. King Henry. King Henry. King Henry. King Henry. Almost had 200. 199.
How about Josh Allen? I mean, you want points and fingers. How about Josh Allen?
He's got nobody around him. I expected that. He has no receivers.
Oh, but last week he did, right?
He
last
week, he played a shitty team. They've had a cupcake schedule. They're not good.
Oh, that's right. You wouldn't think that they would stand a chance against a team where the Raiders went in and beat the shit out of them in their own house,
It's
right?
different. It's early in the season.
Not Minshew. Oh no!
The first couple weeks of the season without a preseason is always going to be odd.
That
The
Gardner
teams haven't
Minishew's
played
a
together.
bad man.
The coordinators
Oh,
haven't
no.
played with the starting offense in a real game format. The first couple weeks, you just got to get out of it with at least a couple wins, and the Ravens did the opposite. We were a toe away from winning in week 1, and then we blew a 10-point lead to the Raiders in the fourth quarter. We made adjustments, and since then, we've looked like a different team, and I just hope it continues.
You're right. Deshaun Watson does suck.
He sucks.
I'm sick of his ass too.
I hate him.
Terrible. Terrible. They tried to disguise him like in a different kind of uniform. Didn't work. We knew it was him. Isn't that Deshaun Watson? Yeah, that is. That's not a Browns uniform. I know it's still him. You could tell by him the amount of sucking going on out there. I mean, what this guy makes, how much is he making? It's like, oh my God. I mean, cheers to Deshaun Watson's agent, man. I mean, my God. You wonder why the Browns are so bad for so long? See Deshaun Watson. I mean, Deshaun Watson's. This could be one of the worst contracts in NFL history. In NFL history. So it's 5-year, 230, all guaranteed. That is a lot of money.
And what he's
all
on
guaranteed
now?
Year 2, right?
Well, the third year. The first year he couldn't play.
Yeah.
So is that the paid year or does that extend the 5 years?
No, I think it was paid.
It's even worse.
If they cut him, the cap hit is $27,942,000. He makes way more money than Myles Garrett on the same team. I think Garrett wants to hit him. I don't know, man. I don't even understand it. You stink, man. Meanwhile, my good guy is Sam Darnold once again. Just throwing lasers out there, dominating the field of play, dictating the pace, as they say. Darnold for Heisman.
He's achieving GOAT level right now. He's on that.
Shout out also Travis Hunter is also a fucking unbelievable game. That interception was, if he doesn't go number 1 overall in the NFL draft, it's someone's going to regret it. He's easily top 3. The only way he doesn't go 1 overall is if Arch Manning declares for the NFL draft. But he's easily, top 3. No doubt. No doubter. He's a can't miss. He's a guy that ends up being a free agent like 100 times, man. Like throughout his career, like
last night, Dion was on Nightcap. I know you don't know what these things are, but most of the audience probably does. Dion was on Nightcap with Ojo and Shannon, and they were talking, just talking, and they start talking about the Jags. Like, what's the Jags record? It was like 0-4, and Dion goes, Travis. I'll send y'all the clip later. It's pretty funny. They're funny guys.
Travis Hunter ain't helping that.
Man, he might.
No, he's not. That there's way more than Travis Hunter can do in that.
You see the bit where Travis Hunter went and dabbed Cam Newton.
I mean, he locked in for the game.
Yeah,
I'm locked in, bro. I'll hit you later.
He called Cam Newton a girl.
I
don't know her name. He was just messing with him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He entering that star level though. So he already there. Really.
All his house, NIL money pays, and all these kids are living in dorms, and this guy's got a mega mansion.
Well, that is the NIL money, man. Caleb was driving a Ferrari around the USC. So.
Well, Miami, they did that without NIL money.
Yep. Well, we got it now. We got it down now.
Look, here we go. Star down. My first star down. Anthony Richardson, bro. God damn.
Always injured.
The conclusion I've come to, you're probably not going to get a big bag second contract. You're probably a 2 to 3 year guy. And you're just proving that they can't build around you. Star up Joe Flacco. I don't know how you do it, but your ass always find a way on the field, Joe.
Well, you want to have a guy that's similar to your starting quarterback, so you don't have to change the game plan too much. And I think Flacco's, athletic ability there, it's exactly what you're looking for. He's elusive in the pocket, and then once he gets outside the pocket, who knows what's going to happen.
Man.
I love it that it's Flacco still beating up on the Steelers. Just keeps coming at him for so many years.
Justin Fields is terrible. I mean, he stinks.
Not for fantasy purposes. Guy had the best fantasy game.
And somebody see that costume.
That's why I don't play fantasy, man.
I was just going to say, I was getting into an argument with somebody yesterday. They was trying to tell me, man, did you see Justin Fields today? He was amazing. I said, did you watch the game or are you looking at stats?
Because they were losing so bad that's like Jake Plummer was a great fantasy player, king of garbage time, man.
Bro, he was terrible.
Terrible. He was the reason why they were so far behind. He was terrible, man. Bad decisions, getting sacked. I mean, and then the fumble was the game that they lost the whole game on. Was just, I mean, amateur hour. It was like the ball's on the ground, and he, instead of like falling on the ball, he's got like two hands on the ball like a center does. And it's like the Colts guy just came over, like basically laughed at him, slapped the ball out of his hand, and the Colts recovered and marched down for a touchdown.
Yeah, so star down Anthony Richardson, man. Like, god damn, bro.
Stink, man.
He don't. The thing is like I'm not an Anthony Richardson hater. Like, I'm in the middle because he's like the perfect guy for boom or bust. Like, it's because like it's either the greatest play you've ever seen or how is this guy in the league? And there's really no in between for him. And that's the problem with Anthony Richardson. And he can't stay healthy. So as a Colts fan, I wouldn't be too excited. I don't know how you build around something like that when you don't know if he's even going to be there next week. So I don't know. Colts might be in the quarterback carousel. We'll see.
Bryce Young sweepstakes. We've got the Mets taking on the Braves. We got a double header here in Atlanta. When it's big game time, Chris, there's only one name that really pops into everybody's head. You think big game, and it's kind of that word association, that they do. It's like big game, Schwelly.
Yep.
Big game,
Yep.
Schwelly.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
How does that work? Do they kick
Schwelly?
the fans out?
Well, what it is just excellent coaching, excellent drafting, and just pure raw talent.
Today's a single admission doubleheader.
Okay, so you're guaranteed to get 2 games. You can't just buy one game.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go and, like, if it was a 1-game thing and you go hide in the bathroom and then when they kick everybody out, you come out and go back to your seat.
No, there's no cost you tied into this. What did I say? That was way too specific of description for Costi to not be speaking from experience.
I don't think I've ever seen this at 2-for-1 like that.
It's weird because Toronto's doing that for the Metallica concert in a couple weeks or like this week or something like that.
I'm talking about sporting events.
I know, but I'm just saying it's weird because I've never seen this either. You're paying you pay one price for 2 days of concerts, but the songs aren't the same. I don't know why they're doing this.
That I could understand because it's back-to-back nights, but like you're just sitting. That's kind of cool.
This makes more sense than that.
This makes way more sense. Yeah.
I don't know, but there's 2 things. You associate big game, you say Schwelly, and then you follow that up with Chris Sale in game 2. And for me, I just think the Braves have the advantage in both games. Long and short of it, I've been on this Braves train the entire way. If these 2 teams split, they actually both make the playoffs. But I don't think the Braves are going to let that happen. I think Schwelly has another strong start against the Mets here. 2 starts, 14 innings against them this season. 1 run allowed combined in those 2 outings. I think the Mets struggle there. And in game 2, I think Sale just shuts him down. Severino starting for the Mets in game 2. 5 ERA on the road. Struggled in Atlanta in his last start. This one's Braves for me in the doubleheader.
Gosti.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one as well. It's Braves for me. I've been very hot the last month, and I just think at home, this is the time they're a championship caliber organization, and they excel in these moments. You gonna pull the square on me?
Mr. I take dogs at the end of the year. I love dogs.
Whoa.
Dogs. And here you come.
It's a meaningful game.
Man,
You want to hate on my dogs? Guess what those dogs did on Friday? 4.5 units.
I
All
know.
dogs.
I know. So scoop up 2.7 today. Scoop up 2.7 today.
Caliber.
Scoop up 2.7 units on the dogs today.
You love the Mets.
My hat at. God damn it.
There's no value in losing.
Sounds like Mitch has a real drum set over there.
No,
Really hitting the
I have, well, we have two. We got this one, and we got this one.
That's terrible. Yeah, the other one's terrible. Whatever the other one was, just get rid of it.
Yeah, that's why you're not
That
on the
one's
show
good.
except for
That's like
twice
a
a week,
real
and we're trying to limit that.
It is phenomenal.
We got. I've been saying it for about 3 years. I got to get new sound effects. It's like maybe I'll do that in my 3 weeks off that I have from video beatdowns. But yeah, I'm on the Braves here. I don't love it. It's just, to me, generally, when you go into the playoffs in recent years, it's been all dogs in the playoffs. But in these play-in type situations throughout the years, and there's been a bunch, I'd say the favorites are like 98%, man. So very, very tough to get away. So I'm going to take the Braves in this one. I just think the Mets, McGill is what you have. That's bad. That's bad. No bueno. And then the other one, they'll start Severino. My guess it's all hands on deck in both these games. So we're going to see, basically the full catalog of Mets pitching in this, which could be good and it could be bad. It could be really bad. It's like, that's the issues here. But it just shows you what a team can do if you can get Buck Showalter out of the dugout. So hats off to the Mets. So how does it work, Chris? If the Mets get swept, do they play the Diamondbacks tomorrow?
So if
the
only way the Diamondbacks make it is if somebody gets swept.
And what if there's a split?
Then
they both make it.
Go in.
No matter what, if there's a split, the Braves are the 5 seed, and the Mets are 6. If the Braves sweep, it's
God, that split's a pretty good bet. So if whoever wins game 1, if the Braves win game 1, they gotta play tomorrow. If I'm the Braves and if I win game 1 and I'm the Braves, I scratch Chris Sale right then and there, man, and I start.
Then you got Max Fried.
I scratch everybody, man. I go to basically a game 162. I mean, you have to protect Schwelly, because you're going to need him in the playoffs. But it's like basically, you go to your long relievers and guys like that, and guys who might not even be on the playoff roster. If it's win and in, right, which it is, right? Basically, it's win and in. You get 2 chances to win 1. If you win game 1 and you got to play tomorrow, well, why would you pitch Chris Sale in game 2? I'm telling you what, man, this is one of these things that I'm going to take the Braves in game 1, and I'm going to take whoever loses game 1 in game 2, because I think it's going to be all hands on deck versus basically a call-up roster.
So this situation happened before in the NFL.
Use my noodle.
No, that's really good knowledge. But this happened in the
knowledge
NFL.
Knowledge is king, Costi. Knowledge is king.
And in the NFL, it was the Raiders versus the Chargers. All they had to do was tie in the overtime for both of them to make it.
And you know what happened?
Said
they didn't do it, and they're not finna do that shit today. We not doing that shit today. That shit not happening. That shit is not happening. All you little Braves lovers, that shit is not happening. Chris Sale will be on that mound game 2 and gonna lose. I'm taking Mets game 1. I'm taking Mets game 2, and we cashing. That's what we doing. That's how we rolling. We not even overcomplicating it. And the Diamondbacks is getting in, bro. Like, everybody want to keep downplaying the Mets, bro. They sitting here, same record. Fuck the Braves, man. I've been saying it all season. The Braves is not making it. They not making the playoffs.
And what did all these Mets lovers
hold
say?
on, Chris. I hate your time. Hold on. My guy McGill.
Yeah, well, you never let me have my
McGill,
time. So
McGill is 5-0 in the last 5 games. The Mets behind McGill don't be losing. They don't be losing behind McGill. All season they've been talking about the Mets pitching staff ain't good enough. The Mets lineup ain't good enough. Here they are, right here with the Braves.
Sounds like Jay's got a soft spot for the Braves here a little bit.
Fuck the Braves, man. We taking the Mets game 1 and game 2. Los Serpientes getting in, Mets getting in, and that's how we playing. And I don't even think the Mets take the second game off. I think the Mets just come out and beat them game 2.
No chance. Whoever wins game 1 will be taking game 2 off because they have to play tomorrow.
Just because. I'm telling you.
They have to play tomorrow, man. They have to not only have to play tomorrow, they got to get on the plane like right after this, and they're playing tomorrow, man.
I think that's how it go. I could be wrong, but if I'm right, God damn it, that's a great segment to be right about.
That sucks really bad.
Oh. That's how
Chris, now you can say your 2 cents. Now you can say your 2 cents.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I'm looking at the prices for Braves extended line. 2.5, 220, 3.5, 330, and I'm standing on this hill that I think that the Braves, you also want to go in. You're on a short, quick turnaround playing tomorrow too. But I'd like to also think that maybe they want to keep the Mets out of the playoffs too because it's still a division rival. And none of this mutual agreement.
That's out the window. I think they're going 2-0.
None of this mutual agreement.
Whoever wins, I think go 2-0. I agree with you in that manner. If the Braves win game 1, they're gonna beat the Mets game 2. Y'all not making the playoffs. Just out of spite, like you know what I mean. They might rest the guys, Mitch. You may be correct. They might rest the guys and still win. I think that's how it goes either way. So
but. I mean, there's one other thing I was looking at here. Oh, Tyler McGill is where we're hanging our hat with the Mets in game 1. Because I thought the same thing. He's like the Mets have won his last night. Thanks, yeah, exactly.
McGill been pitching. That's what I'm saying. McGill been
okay. And I looked at that, and I looked at who McGill's pitched against in his last 5 starts.
4 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 6 Ks.
Yeah,
solid outing.
He stinks.
Solid outing. National.
He stinks, and his brother stinks. They both stink.
Solid outing. Toronto, who was playing well at the time, 6 innings, 1 hit, 9 Ks. This is last 3. These are the last 3. Boston, who was still in the playoff race at the time, still needed it. 4 hits.
Man. Chill.
5 hits, 3 runs. You know what I mean? Then blanked the White Sox, basically gave up. You know what I mean? Like, bro, come on.
Yeah. That's how you see it. I see the White Sox that lost 120 something games. I see the Red Sox who basically quit the final month of the season once they started to fall apart. I see the Blue Jays who, had decent runs here and there, but still, looked like they gave up, especially over the last 2 weeks of the season. I see the Nationals who couldn't hit their way out of a wet paper bag against the Washington against anybody, especially right-handed pitching. See, Mitch is doing exactly what I was doing in my head when I was making this argument. and you go 4 innings against the Phillies, and in his last, let's see here, last 5 starts against the Braves, a 6.0 ERA. This is going to be interesting.
No soup for you.
No, this is going to be interesting.
We taking Tyler McGill and we cashing.
We head to Miami where the Dolphins take on the Titans.
We go from that to this.
It's the Will Levis show. Costi, we know you're a Levis guy.
He's Levass.
You loved him at the combine.
Yeah.
You and your fantasy league watched the NFL draft and applauded the Levis pick.
I never thought he was going to be a good NFL quarterback from the start.
Except when you were on your whole Levis kick.
No, I was never on a Levis kick. Show me proof. Judge.
That's not what we do here.
Show me discovery.
Well, I don't have the. Yeah, unfortunately, the evidence was lost in discovery when we were in Vegas. It was left on a table at the Aria Sportsbook.
Pull the cameras.
or in a Louis Vuitton store. I don't know where. It was left somewhere.
Oh, God, don't bring that up again. I'm trying to forget that it ever happened. I'm big on the Dolphins here. Home game. The Titans are ass. Huntley is a little bit of an upgrade from Skylar Thompson. I think Huntley will get enough done. He's had real game experience with the weapons that he has. Achan's playing, Tyreek Hill, and Waddle. I think at home they have that added edge. The line that I actually took early on is a little bit better than today by 2 points. I think I took them at half a point, basically a money line play. Now it's all the way up to 2. I still like it, even for today. Doesn't matter. Under 3, I'm betting this game all day with both fists. Miami's going to just trample this terrible Tennessee team. And I know Miami's got some injuries on defense, but like Jay always says, the 15 best players are on which team? They're all on the Dolphins, even with all the injuries. So, Dolphins for me.
Yeah. The Dolphins stink and their coach is worse. I don't see the Titans winning the game because they're incapable of doing that. They've already been spotted points in games this season and were unable to do that against the Bears. So it's going to have to be the Dolphins' defense that comes through. But with that being said, I'll take the 2.5 points with the Titans over Mike McDaniel coach team any day of the week, man. I know the Titans are comfortably on the do not bet list. I'm ready to slide. Well, Shador Sanders for Heisman's going to have to leave the do not bet list after the season, so we have to create room.
Washington Commanders might got to leave too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that was going to be the first one off.
That's got to be off already.
You don't get a vote, Costa. You're only part-timer, man. You're going to
get a part-time
vote. I mean, who the hell really, man? The gall, the audacity. In what world does a part-timer get a vote on the do not bet list?
You simply get the, we will take your opinions into consideration.
Listen, I can say I have freedom of speech. I could say it. Doesn't mean it gets recognized. I can still say it.
On what planet?
I was trying to even give you consideration, but you just said you don't want it even recognized. So this is on you now. I have no.
Here's the thing. I don't really care.
Earth to Costi.
I don't really
You got no vote.
Oh, man.
Maybe you might have your own do not bet list, but not on this show's.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my own.
No, that's right. You need to have at least 5 appearances a week. That's a spot. And we're booked. Sorry, we're booked.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans plus the points. I like Titans first half. They've been good first half team, and the Dolphins have been terrible first half, especially with a new quarterback in there. Huntley, I mean, this guy's going to be a disaster. This quarterback and this coach, not a match made in heaven. This is bad. This is really bad. The Dolphins stink, and, I mean, the sad thing is I don't really see a quarterback out there outside Arch Manning that I really want.
You finna get Shador. That's what you're going to get.
That's good. My favorite comment of the weekend was my favorite comment of the weekend was, and Shador Sanders caused that sack. He's running backwards, like, why doesn't he just throw it away, man?
Dolphins draft Shador. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to a Dolphins game in a very long time. And I haven't really, proclaimed to be this big Dolphins fan since the Ryan Tannehill $140 million contract extension, which I thought was uncalled for at the time, and it still was. And that's why they don't call me anymore to ask me if I need anything, because I yelled at the guy like crazy. I'm like, how could I need anything when you've given this guy a $140 million contract extension? I'm like, what do I need anything? Yeah, called a good head coach and a playoff team. That's what we need. They don't call me anymore. I'm on the do not call list.
They put you on the DNC.
He did. They put me on the DNC, man. It's like my rep. It's like, oh my God, they don't even like emailing me. Jay?
This is a high production we're putting on here. So I think Mitch is just lacking because, this do not bet list that we're the new one. You know what I mean? It takes a while to get here. These things, it wasn't made in a day. So, you know what I mean? The new one, this year's draft is not here yet. We had to send it, through the right channels and things of that nature. So Mitch doesn't have the new list right in front of him, and I think that's why it's, leaving his memory, and that's why he's taking the Titans, because we don't fade the do not bet list, and the Titans are on there. They're ass, okay? The Titans are on there for a reason. Oh my God, Mitch, do I need to take you down memory lane on how the Titans fucked us week 1?
How many times is McDaniel? I mean, this guy's the worst. This guy's. I mean, I think he could easily be on the do not bet list by himself.
I know,
the only reason he didn't make our, there is no I in team, let's point some fingers segment is because they hadn't played yet this week.
Fair. But, man, Will Levis is so ass, bro. And the thing about McDaniel is I think I can trust him in this game. And here's why.
The quarterback that was out of the league 2 weeks ago?
Yes, and here's why.
Ex-Pro Bowler.
Here's why. McDaniel, he's not a hard coach to figure out.
Watered down Pro Bowl, man. Watered down.
I didn't say what type. I didn't say what type.
When the Dolphins play good teams, they lose. Just look at McDaniel's record against good teams. But the Dolphins always have winning records, or at least, under his tenure they do. So what does that mean? That means when they play the bad teams is where they beat up on them and they do all the hoopla, all the, oh my God, he's a genius. Oh my God. And I wouldn't be surprised if tonight was one of those. Tyler Huntley, I got to walk y'all through the steps. I'm not a big Tua fan. I think Tua is just a product of his environment down there in Miami. He has the fastest offense that the NFL's probably seen in a long time. And I think Tyler Huntley, if this is the Tyler Huntley that, we've seen in past, probably fits it a little better. He doesn't throw as good of a ball as Tua. I'm not saying anything like that. Tua is a better quarterback than Tyler Huntley. But for what Miami's trying to do and Tennessee not having a lot of film on what Miami may try to offer, I think it's a great spot for Miami to kind of let loose, if you will. Get the ball out, Tyler Huntley, get it to the playmakers, like the playmakers make plays. Tennessee is, I think, on the cusp of getting ready to die. There's a couple teams out there they're just on that vine and they're just ready to die. The Jags, the Titans, they're all, they're in that same mold for me. Like one more week and they're done. We'll probably see a coach firing, things of that. Now I know Tennessee got a new coach, so that's what makes it even crazier. But yeah, this team's cooked. Even in the games they should have won, their quarterback just puts them in positions where they can't. And Costi stole my line, man. When I look at this game, I feel like the Dolphins have at least like the top 5 best players on the field.
And the worst coach in the league.
I seen yesterday, bad coaches beat good coaches yesterday. Eberflus beat Tomlin somehow. What's the name? The Rams lost.
The Steelers were due.
Or not Eberflus. What's the name? What's the coach for the Colts or whatever his name is? I forgot.
Steichen?
Yeah, Steichen. I'm not that high on Steichen. And Steichen's star down for Steichen. God damn it, Anthony Richardson got hurt, came out to the sideline. The very next play, they ran a read option to the outside, and he got hit again, out for the game.
Didn't even get hit. He didn't even get hit. Something was wrong with his leg. The hip pointer fired. He didn't even get hit. He fell.
That's like one of those football parody movies where it's just like the coach just doesn't even pay attention and you get the guy that always gets killed and you throw him back into the game in the backfield.
Hand the ball off to Justin Taylor right there. To Jonathan Taylor. I said Justin Taylor. To Jonathan Taylor right there.
Jay's so mad he's getting the names wrong.
Man, that shit was dumb.
Counselor?
Yeah, I'm on Miami tonight, Mitch. And they're a last circa, man. For the, you know what I mean?
They'll crush your dreams. Chris?
Your Honor, I'd like to point to Exhibit U, the under 39.5 here.
Over in lameness.
Over in the reason why is because I'm gonna sprinkle in on a plus 5,000 prop, no touchdowns in the game. I think it's gonna be one of those ugly 15-12 kind of games where there's a ton of field goals here, a lot of messing around between the 20s. I think this is, as this feels like a Thursday night game. It's in a Monday night slot, so give me the under and give me no touchdowns in the game at plus 5,000.
Ooh, Chris. I don't know why your ass be looking at them weird ass bets, but you do, and that one right there. No touchdown for what? Like, who thinks of that? Like, but I kind of might need you to look for 2 defensive touchdowns, and also in that game, give me an INT by Will Levis, give me an INT by Huntley. Give me a specific Jalen Ramsey INT. Big players show up on like Monday night. I wouldn't be surprised if he went and got one. I'm just trying to throw some props out there for the future.
I was talking the whole time. Didn't realize my mic was off. I'll do my best. I don't know how many of these I can get.
No, I wasn't telling you to look up all that. I just wanted that 1 to 2. You know what I mean? But yeah, a few more props off the top of my head, bro. The interception prop been treating us well this season. No real reason to not keep betting them.
You can, which defense did you want for 2 touchdowns?
Miami.
Plus 11,000.
Will Levis is that ass. That terrible.
If you were, you could take the Miami defense for an anytime touchdown at plus 950 and parlay it with the Will Levis interception.
We got the Seahawks and the Lions. I'm up first. 2 teams that I believe are the most overrated in the NFL this season. Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, man. I'm going to take the Seahawks based on that alone. I just think all the values on the Seattle defense. And I think Jared Goff, we haven't really seen a real stinker from him in a little while. Basically, as they say at the craps table at the Silver Sevens, come on in. You're due. I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one.
Still wise words from the man across from me, man. It's hard to start 4-0 in this league. And I just don't think the Seahawks on the road have that type of makeup.
They don't need to.
They don't. I think they benefited from probably the easiest schedule to date. Caught Bo Nix in his first game of the season. Then caught the New England Patriots, who took them to overtime. And then played Skylar Thompson last week in the Miami Dolphins at home, 12-man. So the book's still out for me on Seattle. New coach, Monday Night Football on the road. Lions are the better football team. Lions was just in the NFC Championship game a year ago. That's who they are. And the Lions finna come in here and run the football. And that's kind of what the Patriots were able to do against the Seattle Seahawks, was run that peel. The Lions probably have the best rushing attack in the league. With that 2-headed monster they have in Gibbs and Montgomery. The Lions just obliterated the Cardinals a week ago. And I think this is probably Seattle's return to earth moment. I'm taking the Detroit Lions and laying the points.
Chris?
I'm taking
Seattle, the Lions are a great team to be square on. The last 3 seasons, they're still the most profitable team in the NFL. So, it is what it is. Dan Campbell, since he's entered the league, is the most profitable head coach in the league.
Yeah, something else that stood out to me when these two
Beans
teams
are
square
not
off.
up, fade now. Chris?
Yeah, when these two teams square off, something else that stood out to me is that they play in track meets. I mean, 37-31 in overtime last year, 48-45 the year before. Yeah, I think that
You're going to give out
Seattle's
another total for the crowd here? The isosceles triangle.
100%. Give me the over 46 and a half.
So lame. So lame.
Well, I like the over here. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, it's like, you know, you got a Seattle team that yes has benefited from a soft schedule. They can still pass the ball. They're third best in the NFL in terms of pass offense. Going up against a Detroit defense that's 19th defending the pass. You know, I think that Detroit can move the ball through the air. They've played a much tougher schedule, but despite that, they're still fourth in the NFL in rushing. They got a two-headed rushing
Every
attack.
comment is taking the Lions. Every single comment.
So give me the over here.
You're dead. Jay's parlay of Mets, Lions looks like going right in the incinerator. Costi?
Let me just break it down for you. Seattle 3-0, but who have they played? They beat up on Miami without a quarterback. They only beat the Patriots by 3, and they beat Denver. Now Denver has come around, and they are playing much better, but I'm not sold. I know they have a great coach. That is the coach that I wanted them to keep for the Ravens, and McDonald ended up going to Seattle. He's a phenomenal coach. They kept the wrong one. But the jury's still out to see if they could be consistent. I think Detroit is a better team right now. I think they'll be able to run the ball on them. The line really hasn't moved drastically. Now I'm seeing some 4.5s pop up, but still favorable to the Detroit side. I got it at 3.5. Now it's all the way up to.
No one cares where you got it because they can't bet it there. Just tell them what your pick is.
I'm just saying. I
sound like the guys in the comments. It's like this bullshit. If you got bad lines on the picks that you bought from us, like everybody that got this weekend from the guys that put their picks in on Tuesdays, contact me for a refund, man, because I just think it's bullshit.
It's hard for me to break it down because analytically now, is it still an advantage to bet it? That's all I'm saying. And I think
if you ever get bad lines from us, man, that you can't bet, like you buy the pick on a Sunday and the guy put the picks in on Tuesday when the lines were totally different, just email me right away. I'll send you a refund or give you a credit. That is our policy and always has been. I mean, what's the point of talking about a line you can't bet? Parlay time.
Mets, Lions. There you go.
It was coming, Chris.
Braves over in the Seattle game.
If you lost because of a bad line, then by all means contact me through our chat on the site. There was a few of them out there. But if you still won the bet, even on a bad line, or if you had a bad line, you didn't contact me before the game, there's nothing I could really do. But if you contact me before the game, win or lose, I'll give you a credit, no problem. There's no way I'm going to sell stale lines to people. That is bush league. Costi, what do you got?
Braves, Dolphins.
Titans, Braves, game 1 for me. Mets, game 2. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you tomorrow.
Playoff baseball, baby.